Hello, everybody. Of which there is nobody. It's just me. Let's see if we can get some. Let's see if we can get this party started and get some more folks here. And I'm also going to boost up uh, my. I'm looking for something to which to use to boost up my computer screen. Be right back. Don't anybody go anywhere.
What are you doing?
I'm using this to boost up my screen. Bonsoir. Bonsoir, Christina. Bonsoir, Vince. Thank you for joining us. You are the first two to arrive. Can you both hear me? Can you guys hear me? Somebody say, oui. Merci beaucoup. Christina, you're basically taxing my French at this point. So this is the end of my French, and most of this is going to be in English. And I thought, in honor of Jason's live stream the other night, we would also have a little Coke. See if I can put this in her hand. Hang on a second. There we go. So, I don't know if you guys know this, but the other night Jason did a live stream of his one-to-one scale fashions. And when you got invited to go to the live stream, he sent you personalized bottles of Coca-Cola, which said, have a Coke with, Jason Wu. You may have heard of him. He used to work for Integrity Toys. Yeah, Jason. Yes. Oh, yes. We can talk. Let's absolutely talk about Naja. Christina? What do you want to? Naja reminded me immediately of Rihanna. I looked at that entire ensemble, and it looked like something that Rihanna would wear to a live stream. Which one? There are two. There are two bags. Of course, I think you mean, yeah. Oh, that time. I mean, yeah. Jacques. Yeah, that tiny bag. Let me see if people, I think, have been putting up photos. Um, let's see if they've. Let's see if they have, in fact, been putting them up. I think they have them up on the lounge already. I'm just scrolling really fast to see if. I could have sworn people were putting it up on the lounge. I did not take screen caps. I was not prepared for this. Um, $700. That don't make sense. That does make sense though for That does make sense though for her bag. That they would replicate a tiny bag like that. Who somebody had the screen caps of these dolls. Where are they? Shoot. Uh, okay, well, Sam, let me go to Samantha Asher's page. Maybe Sam did it. She did one of Yep, here we go. Here we go. This is not exactly the best way to do this, but that is her. Oops. That is her if I can keep it open. There, there she is. There she is. So you're telling me that little bag is $700? That's insane. I mean, I get why they did it, but oops, that's insane. That is insane. For 700. No, I believe you. I mean, I believe you, but it's insane. But since we're here, can we talk about the whole bustier shawl thing? Can we talk about that for a second, Christina? I'm not quite. I'm trying to warm up to this concept, but I'm not quite a fan of this bustier shawl thing. Um, I wish it were something a little bit different. It's a trend, I know, but this is. I mean, I like the idea of most of this. I'm just not sure if I like all of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually gonna go take a second and try to find a stand, so I'm not sitting here like an idiot and holding on to this. Give me 1 second. I will leave her just of course, just out of range. I'll be right back. Yeah. Because I wasn't thinking clearly. I would think by the way that you do need something around your torso. You also need to have pretty much a perfect figure. Would you not? To make that work? So I'm just gonna quickly. I'm trying to get I'm putting together the stand for my phone, so you guys can.
Probably could just use Wait, you could have used the stand that we used that I used for before.
So let me see. I also have to have this plugged in because, oops, I don't have enough room now. There we go. So I'm going to move my doll, and then I'm going to move. There we go.
What was wrong with this?
Oh, it extends. Okay, give it to me. Okay. So this is a little bit better now, I think. Okay. So there we have the doll in question. Back to it. I love the lavender houndstooth. I'd like to know where he got stories of he's had a bad habit. He being Jesse. Jesse has had a bad habit lately of borrowing people's designs. So I would like to know where he got it from. So yeah, so that is the houndstooth. What else did you like about him? How? Let me ask you a question, Christina. Are you buying a second membership for someone who has to who's overseas? Because it's a double for you. Yeah. I was in the W Club from its inception. I did not join last year, and I am not joining this year. I love the dolls. I love the product. I love Poppy. I do not love Carol. And I do not have a desire to give Carol money. So I'm actually not going to do that. I'm not going to give her money. Why not? Why don't I love Carol? To make a very long story short, and it is a very long story, for Murdoch's company. And she has said things on the Fox News channel and that were a bit much. About 18 months ago, she wrote an article uh, basically saying that Michelle and Barack Obama should not buy a house in Cape Cod and that they were hypocrites for doing so. And I was like, why are you writing this article? First of all, everybody knows that the deal fell through and they're not going to buy this house anyway. But I'm like, why are you writing this article? What business of yours is it to write this article? And in talking with other people who have had encounters with her, um, during there were parts during the live stream, where they're saying we're very, this is Integrity Toys and we have a lot of integrity. Yeah, no. She has said some stuff that has not been okay, and there are some of us who are not okay with it. So she's not racist, but I don't think she understands in the United States the very serious conversations that are happening. She's not part of the problem, but she's also not using her voice as effectively as she should be to be part of the solution. And I'd rather give my money to people who are actively working toward being part of the solution. Yeah, that's exactly it, Christina. She's incredibly problematic with her words. Her words get her into trouble more often than they save her. I mean, let's face it. There's like half of the live stream did not have to happen tonight because they were babbling. I thought they were saving time to I thought they were saving time to like wait for Vaughn to come on or Jesse to come on to talk about the dolls. They were just babbling. So I was not so that was not particularly impressive. You think anybody else is gonna come by? I'm not saying that I'm very happy you guys are here, but I'm just wondering if anybody else is gonna come by. Because I did want to show people something, and I will, of course, show you guys. Oops, let me bring this in a little bit closer. So, oops, if I can do this. Basically, what I'm going to show you guys is a game I play, and this is, of course, backwards. Gee, thanks. The game is called Design Home, and it's a game. It's a game where you can. You literally are designing rooms. Thank you, Christina. Thank you for asking that question. Yeah, they had a lot of questions about that. They had a lot of questions about where they were getting their products. So I'm very, very glad that you asked that question. And I thank you for it. Okay. So now you may be wondering what the hell I'm doing here. But yeah, I was really glad that you asked that question because I know that there's a problem in China with forced labor. I mean, let's face it. I mean, this whole thing going on now with Disney. Disney was absolutely right to fire Gina Carano. She made completely inappropriate statements on Instagram. This is somebody else whose words are problematic because she doesn't understand her words. But at the same time, Disney fires her, and that's the right move. But Disney also filmed all of Mulan right by an Uyghur concentration camp. Mulan was filmed right outside an Uyghur concentration camp. So, yeah, I mean, it's, again, and even Alon said this on his Facebook page, the people who use social media and they're a celebrity, they have to be really careful with their words. And I agree with that. I know. They think I know. I know. So it's like if you're going to make the argument that Disney's being hypocritical, that's where you make the argument. You don't use tweets from the guy who plays the Mandalorian when he was trying to speak up against ICE and what they were doing in this country, in the United States, putting innocent children in camps. Yes, thank you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, you're right, Christina. You are correct. So I want before you I we can keep talking about this, but I also want to show you guys what I just pulled up on my screen. So remember I was saying there's Design Home, it's a game. So in this game, you can design a home. And so this is a home that is Palm Springs. This is a home, a postmodern home set in Palm Springs. So what I decided to do was I would do this house like it was from the 60s, and Poppy was going to be here, and I did this so that people, if to show people, and then eventually when Poppy's line came out, people could use the pictures and use them for backdrops. So this is what the courtyard looks like. I did the courtyard. Oops. This is going to be tricky because I've never done this before. I did the courtyard. And then the next room was the car park. There's like a whole bunch of rooms. I should have probably rehearsed this. This is the game room. I tried to think about the colors that Poppy has already seen. And if you notice, look at the picture. Look at the artwork. I mean, that's already in her dress. So, yeah. And then there's also eventually, this is the master bedroom. Again, this is all Palm Springs. So I thought about it, and I thought about colors that I knew David usually uses when he does Poppy. So I just thought about that and said, okay, let me put this house together. The one weirdo thing, which I think some people might like and some people might not, this is the master bedroom. And they had this like really weird built-in makeup counter. I could totally see that for the industry, but not necessarily for Poppy. But yeah, that's supposed to be the bathroom, the master bath. I also hope I can't this game, unfortunately, Christina, it only lets you add what they want you to add. You can't add other things to it. So I could not, even though I agree with you, that would be darling. I can't add like outside fencing if it's not already there. And Vince, yeah. I get people love fantasy hair colors, and pink is not, I mean, at this point, pink is like everybody kind of dyes their hair pink at this point. So I don't think the pink is too much of fantasy, but oh my God. It's I just hope that I really hope they don't do like the other shade of lemonade. Pink is the new blonde. God, I hope not, because I do not want to see pinks. I don't want to see pink on New Face. I don't want to see pink on Poppy. I sure as hell don't want to see it on East 59th Street. I might have to kill. Well, no, Chris is not going to do that. Chris will not do that. I hope not. Well, there you go. But you see, you're a real person. You're a real person, Kristen. Real people are allowed to have pink hair. Dolls are not allowed to have pink hair. Oh, I mean, that's like the next thing is they're going to give Poppy purple hair if they have. And I love the color purple. I'm just really glad with Nausea, they didn't do the whole thing where it's like purple, 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 and then her hair is a shade of purple. Yeah. Once you, yeah, yeah, you can print this out as a background. You have to play the game and do it yourself. I mean, I will. I mean, I will do what I. I mean, at some point as we get closer to the Poppy Parker launch, I'll probably like come back into the game and I'll save the photos and print them out and upload them. But everybody, I highly recommend that you play this game because inevitably you can make your own dioramas. They do like so many different styles. I know. As soon as the words came out of my mouth, Vince, I knew they had given Poppy lavender hair. I knew it as soon as I said it that they had already done it. Um, so yeah, you can basically design different. You can design Veronique's office, for example. They do ones where you design an office, or you could design the industry's photo lounge. So you can do all of that with this game. It's called Design Home, and you would need a smartphone to download it. But yeah, and it is a game, so you do have that element that people are going to vote on your designs. So if that kind of bothers you, this might not be ideal for you. But I thought it was fun, and I thought it was a good idea. So Vince, shall we? Let me see if I can find a picture. But shall we talk about what you lovingly called the exploding vagina dress? See if Sam didn't take she didn't take a picture of that one. But can we talk about? See if I can. Does anybody have pictures yet of? See this will. Yep, it pasted. Oh. No, it didn't paste. So hang on. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm trying to find a picture of it now, just to like let us unpack this clusterfuck. Does anybody know who's got pictures of it? Well, obviously besides the email, but I saw that people were taking screen caps all over the place. Let me see. I can't find pictures. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, it's like that entire dress. No, there were many parts wrong with that entire dress. Um, Let me go back to the lounge and see if I can find somebody who might have put it up. Nope, it doesn't look like anybody's put up the photos yet. But it wasn't closed. Let me see. It's just, you know what? Let me cheat like hell. Let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna cheat like hell. This here is the highlight of low tech. There's probably a much easier way for me to do this, and I have no idea what it is. But there we go. Um, yeah, I agree with you. Um, I think the telling part was when Alon said he was surprised that it was that it was one piece and not two. I think that was the big that kind of was the big tell, because once he said that, I was like, why are you surprised that that that's the case. Why, you know, it would work better if it were two pieces. I think having it one piece kind of forces it to be oops. There you go. Yeah, and then we've got Titty Titty Bang Bang. If I get that flash tape is a thing, but I don't it's like, you know, there's like it's like and then the necklace, the way, I mean, the necklace fits just perfectly between the tits. So you don't, at least it's not a dangle that you've got the dangle going between the breasts. That would have been a bit much. But I mean, at least they didn't do that. My favorite part of this, honestly, is the jewel tone clutch. I like that they have been doing that lately. They've been doing jewel tone, rhinestone, very heavy Monique Lullier type of purses. So I like that. I like that. I like that kind of. I like that clutch. But the rest of it, it's like I like the. But as soon as I went, let me see if I can get this even closer. Um, if you notice the way it seems like there's a part here that they've done like a weird parting. It's like a part here, which makes sense, but then they've got this other part going on here. And the way people were screaming about Kiki's hair just came back out. Um, though the way that they've been screaming about the Meteor doll and her hair root and the fact that there were bald patches, I can see that people are going to go nuts in the same way that there's going to be bald patches again. I do think that the colors complement her skin tone very, very well. I mean, it's the classic story with Jessie. The pieces are wonderful, but when you put the pieces together, they don't work. That is the classic story, except except for the boudoir, which was very successful for him. The classic story with Jessie is, if you he'll make these pieces and the pieces are great, but the pieces um do not really work otherwise. Let me see. Let me see if I can think of some other place. I mean, what? I mean, do you like? I mean, is there any part of this that you did like? Um, I wish Christina, instead of making white dolls black, they would just use the black dolls more. They have Adele, they have Adele, they have Adele's sister, whose name, of course, just went out of my head. They have Adele's sister. They they have Darla. They have Oriella Gray. Um, they have characters from Dynamite Girls that they could bring over. I wish I wish that they would do um I wish they would use those dolls instead of making dolls African American. I don't think that's too much to ask. Yeah, I'm not even that crazy about the shoes, honestly. Honestly, I'm not even crazy about the shoes. The shoes don't quite work with the dress. I would think that for a dress like this, um, you would want, oops, for a dress like this, you would want a little bit more formal shoe than a platform sandal. I mean, the heel is right. but I would think you'd want a little bit more. Thank you, by the way, Vince. Dominique. Use Dominique. Use Adele. Use somebody in the Meteor collection. Don't make Elise black. She's not black. I mean, Agnes is not black. Okay? There's a reason why Agnes is not black. Don't do that. Don't make Eden black. You know, use what you have. I mean, what are you going to do next? Make Kiori Russian? So the shoes were not a big hit. Sometimes the shoes are like the best part, not this time. Yeah. Thank you. It's like, yes, we listen. We listen to we listen to you and we see what you do. We listen to you and we see what you. Yeah, well, where were you when you're listening? Where's the part where you're supposed to hear us say we hate the damn buckles? You see what we do? Well, how about when we're putting up videos where we're talking about breaking the shoes out, like as soon as we put the shoes on, we're breaking them because we can't do the buckles. Or we're breaking the jewels, we're breaking the earrings coming out of the jewelry pack because they're sewn in so tight. I have broken necklaces coming out of the jewelry pack. A Nubian gem, that would be truly outrageous, but in the completely wrong way. Why did he bring up gem if he wasn't going to show us gem? That was not truly outrageous. That would be contagious. Why bring up gem if you're not going to show it to us?
If anything upset, one say it's truly, truly contagious. You say it's truly, truly outrageous. Work the pun right, you twat.
My brother's yelling at me. I didn't work the pun right with truly, truly outrageous. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like I saw that he had boxes in the back. I saw what I think was the color striping for East 59th Street. That was over his. Let me see. You might see it here. Yeah, over here. You see, whoops. Whoops. Right where my finger is, there was the color stripe. That looked like that might be an East 59th Street box. So he had the boxes out. So I mean, I'm like, and thusly that he watches Mandalorian and WandaVision. I was wondering if there was like some hint about that too. So yeah. And then we had the balloons, which I thought were a nice touch from Mardi Gras, but Carol is actually an Aquarius. Yeah. I'm never admitting to being an Aquarius again. Good thing I was born on the 19th. Yeah, he did. He did have one of the basics behind him. So, I mean, I get, and I believe me, and let me take the tone out of my voice. I understand completely that because of the pandemic, factories will open and close on a moment's notice. Getting things through customs is now impossible. I understand all of that. So I think that had to be part of the conversation, but I understand why it wasn't. Because I mean, what else could they say? They don't know what's going to happen next. Um, they don't know what's going to they don't know what's going to happen. Do we want to talk about Poppy? Do you want me to go get a picture of Poppy and we can talk about Poppy? Let's see. Let me see if I can queue up a photo of Poppy. So
What I yeah, I actually, Naomi Tracy said, I spoke to my post guy today. He took the box. No problem. No problem whatsoever. So, I mean, unless he's gonna bring it back from the line. But I think
I dressed my doll for Mardi Gras. I'll quickly show you. This is probably one of the oldest FR gowns. Oops. This is probably one of the oldest FR gowns. Purple Rain. And then it's just a combination. This is the doll. She is a John Copeland repaint of Exotic Fire. Yeah, I love this necklace. I really wish the person who made them would come back. I would buy like more of these in every color. And then the earrings match. The earrings match. So there she goes. She's dressed for the ball. She's dressed for the Mardi Gras ball. So let's talk about Poppy. Not at all surprised by the dress because I figured that was I mean I didn't think it was going to be pink lemonade. I did think we were going to see a lot of these like mid 60s type Lily Pulitzer prints. So I was not surprised by the print. Not surprised by the hat or the style of hat. Yeah, but what the hell is up with those earrings? Those earrings look like rejected Valentine candy. The bracelets are the common bangles. They've been doing that kind of bangle for about 5 years now. The ring, the style of ring, they've been doing for 5 years. Did not like the bangle. YouTube was doing that to me earlier, Vince. I could not. I was losing the live stream. I was losing it. Once they started babbling, answering people's questions. But was there any? Did they say anything? I didn't think they said anything surprising or shocking. I don't think they said anything that was really a big surprise. I mean, now it's just really, it really isn't. Palm Springs is basically, well, Palm Springs now is when you are old, and when you are basically, if you are old and not Jewish, you go to Palm Springs. If you are old and Jewish, you go to Florida. I like the outfit. I like the outfit. You know what would be really bitchy? Now that Christina brings it up, do you know what would be really bitchy? What if they did the sugar daddy? Remember when Silkstone was going to do the Palm Beach collection and they made the prototype, the Silkstone Ken, and everybody went ballistic because they thought he was like a sugar daddy, and the pre-Trump Trumpers like clutched their pearls and said, "Oh my God, this is a horrible stereotype." Yeah, Sugar Daddy Ken. Yeah, Sugar Daddy Ken. And then everybody went ballistic and they wound up having to cancel it. I think it would be hysterical. And David has just the right kind of sense of humor. I think it would be hysterical if they did it for Palm Beach. They did the Sugar Daddy Ken for Palm Beach and they used Chip. Dun dun dun. Of course, now that I've said it, they won't do it, but I think that would be hysterical. Oh. So. Where is Chip? Chip is in Vietnam. Who knows where Chip is? Chip is about to be replaced by the person who becomes Tula Bell's grandfather. I don't know. Chip died in Vietnam. I forgot about Nigel, Christina. I totally forgot about Nigel. But you're right. Yes. No, poor Nigel. But that would be he could be another one. Let's see. So I just put it up on Instagram that we're here. Let's see if anybody else comes. Yeah, Darla tends to have really nice hair, and I never like messing with it either. I don't like messing with any of their hair. I mean, the first time I actually did something was when when I had my Veronique rerooted, and I have other people. It's either I reroot it or I leave the hair the way it is. So that's about it. Oh, my phone. Okay, my phone's like, all right. So we've discussed the 3 dolls. Is there anyone or anything else we should add to this conversation? Because I can keep looking for pictures. A Trip who looks like Troy Donahue. That might be coming if they go. It depends. I think the next thing we're going to see is a Chip that looks like Lee Majors. I think we're going to have a Lee Majors Chip, but who knows? Let's put the couch back. And there we go. You can at least have. Whoops! Oh my God! I was almost guilty of a Jessie Alea. Sorry. I was almost guilty of a Jessie Alea. Do I prefer Chip 1.0 or 2.0? I prefer neither Chip, actually. None. The only guy who really got me was Nigel. So I don't actually like either Chip. I don't like either Chip. I liked Nigel. My favorite man so far has been Darius 1.0. That's my favorite guy. Was Darius 1.0. I've loved their clothes. I have not been a fan of any of the guys. I guess my second favorite would be Jesus Romaine. Romaine Perrin looking like Jesus Christ. That one I kind of liked. But again, that was a great doll because you just didn't get a really good looking doll. You also got he had a fully layered outfit, so you had a t-shirt, a shirt, a vest, trousers, pants. He had that, yeah, layers of a man. I called him Jesus Romaine because he looked the convention version looked like Jesus Christ, or at least the European church version of Jesus. Oh, I forgot that's where he started. The Rock Wedding Romaine. Yeah. That was a great outfit. That was I've actually used that outfit I have used many times. I will very quickly show you. Whenever I do a shoot of like the Oscars and I have people dressed up for the Oscars, I will use that tux because that is a great tux. Let me see if I can find it. Dun, dun, dun. Obviously, this is not the doll that he came with because that's the original Perry, but that's the tux. That's most of the tux, and I put a tailcoat over it. But that vest was amazing. I just saw your chat, Vince. I'm sitting here looking for a picture, and all of a sudden, there's Vince. Romaine, lettuce, yeah. Let us pray. Oh my God. Yeah. A lot of people don't like the 2.0 body. A lot of people don't like the Monarch's body. It was a little weird to me. I mean, I only had it briefly for Perry's brother. Paulo. I had Paulo briefly, but Paulo was just Paulo's Paulo was one of those things where the the end did not justify the means. Paulo was like the pieces of, yeah, it's good for Paulo was good for dressing. But it's like here's the picture of him. And here's the picture of him. He looks like a little boy who got into the gray hair dye. I mean, that is a 1960s Ken hair face sculpt. That's 1960s Ken who got into who like decided to dye his hair gray. It did not work. And then you had like the really weird overcoat that came with it. It's like I was waiting for Dolly Parton to start singing about the coat of many colors. To continue with the biblical references, it's like this is Paulo and the Amazing Technicolored Trench Coat. What the hell happened here? So I knew, and then no socks. That was the other thing. It's like here, I'm trying so hard to be a grown up, but I've gone to the Don Johnson school of putting on shoes. I've gone to the Miami Vice school of shoes. It just, everything about it was like the pieces were nice. If you had done another kind of outfit with the trench coat would have worked. The suit's not bad. This suit is not bad. It's just dumb. It's dumb. The suit is fine. And the glasses were fine, but then you put it with that trench coat and it totally he's Hispanic though. He's not. I know. Thank you, Donald Trump. You have permanently ruined the red tie. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, the storyline was heading toward Paulo and Perry or in some kind of business rivalry. Paulo's in love with Natalia. He wants Natalia. Natalia wants the company. So maybe there's going to be some weird sort of love triangle there. It's very Italian not to wear socks. I thought they were Latino. I thought they were Castilian Spanish. So, I mean, I guess it would make sense then. That's why Paulo didn't wear the socks. But I don't know. I mean, we haven't. Okay. I mean, we haven't seen. We haven't seen any more Monarchs. The Monarchs have been on hold. It's been over a year. We saw a little bit of East 59th Street, but they did like 2 capsule collections. We haven't seen the industry in forever, somebody was saying. So I think a lot of what they were going to do got held back and pushed back. So thank you. Thank you. Yes to Tate. Yes to Tate all day long. I agree. Yes to Tate all day long. So I totally agree. And to be honest, Tate was New Face, wasn't he? Tate is New Face. There has to be another Laird Drake. Another Laird Drake has to be coming with East 59th Street. I think we're going to get another Laird before we would get Vitois' husband. Okay, so if we get industry, I think it's going to be Tate. I don't think it's going to be Tula Bell. I think it's going to be Tate. I think they're going to introduce an African American character, and we might get Tula Bell's assistant. Yeah. Christina, have you ever seen the original Kioris? And I'm talking about the Kioris from way the hell back in the day. Season 1 Kiori. Hello, welcome to Fashion Royalty, the reality TV show. Have you seen like the very, very early Kioris, like from the first and second conventions? That Kiori. I may be able to do you one better than looking her up. Let me see if I have any pictures of her. Christina, this is a photo of her behind some props. That's Kiori from the second convention. That's Kiori from the second convention. And I've had her for like 20 years. Yeah. She looks the part. She looks what she's supposed to look like. Let me see if I can get a better photo of her. Yeah, there we go. I will put this down so you can. Oops. I will attempt to put it. No, this is not gonna. Let me switch this out. Hopefully, put this down flat. There you go. put this down. What? Oops. That is Kiori. And yeah, the first couple of times Kiori looked Japanese. She looked appropriate, and then they started to make her look much more Eurasian than Asian. So the only other one that I felt like comfortable saying, okay, this is an Asian doll, is the convention Ayumi that was supposed to be very clearly, it's supposed to be Milan. Just to start to bring this conversation back full circle. The only other one I liked, she looks like she is. She's Chinese. So let me see if I can get that. I thought I had a photo of her. I don't. Oh, yes, I do. This is a Mulan. This is the only other doll. And she looks Chinese. And she looks like the glamour Chinese that you would see in Crazy Rich Asians. So that's it. So I mean, so that's been about it in terms of representation. So what do you think, guys? We've been chatting for like an hour. Have we unpacked this? Have we talked enough about have we talked have we chatted enough? I have seen her. I don't own any 16. I own no 16-inch dolls, but I have seen her and I agree. She looks Asian. I agree with you, Christina. She does look Asian. I've not owned any 16-inch dolls, but I agree with you. She does look Asian American. But I guess for them, it's hard for them to create a doll that is not part of their creative team. We can. What do you want to talk about, Mizi? Are you joining the club? I do not have a Mizi prop. I'm sorry to say. I do not have any Mizis right now in my possession. But what do you want to say? Let's talk about Mizi. I'm going to join. I joined too. I joined the club. I joined too. I feel yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't sell them. I had to send them back. I had Mizis from the very first run, and they were defective, so I sent them back. And then if you go through my reviews, I reviewed a couple of Mizis and then I sold them. I had the Princess Mizi and I gave it to someone I sold it to someone who really wanted her. But I made a mistake. I did not get Love is Blue, and I've been regretting it ever since. I want to get Love is Blue. So yeah, I mean, I felt okay selling the Mizis because the bodies are still very shaky in terms of production quality. And if you notice, Christina, I haven't done an Adonis review. I am refusing to buy the Adonis until I know that the feet joints are better. I keep hearing that the feet joints are not good and their hand joints are not good. So those are like that's a major issue. So I'm waiting to see clothing wise. Well, the first Meezies were in lingerie and they were a disaster. Fatima's bathing suit was better. I kept Fatima's bathing suit. Um, I have the Meezy, I have the clothes, but the dolls I usually sell because the bodies are very bad. I haven't bought an Adonis yet. I think I'm gonna do my first Adonis coming soon because I like the hair. The newest Adonis, I really liked his hair, so I might take a risk on that one if I can get my hands on him. But this last Adonis, when he was announced, I didn't have the money to do pre-order, so I'll have to wait and see if I can get him on the secondary market. But I mean, Jason, his name is also Jason. Interestingly enough, Jason is trying. I think he's got. I think he's kind of stuck on the wrong end of the factory line. Like you have, okay, we have an order from Mattel, we have to do that first. Now we have an order from Tonner, we have to do that. Now we have an order from Integrity, we have to do that. Okay, now we can finally get to Meezy. So I think he's sort of at the low end of the totem pole right now. Are we about to get some Delilah Cam? Come on. Come here. No, no. Come here, come here. Come be on camera. So no, I that's not how they're being sold, Vince. They're not being sold to be a love interest. They're not being sold that way. They're being sold. Adonis is his own universe. I don't think we're going to see that until we see, um, we'll see a different kind of doll for Meezy. I think Meezy's supposed to be in her own universe, and Adonis is in his own universe. This, ladies and gentlemen, now coming into your screen, this is by far the most beautiful creature you will see on your computer tonight. Yes, you know you are beautiful. You know you are beautiful. Yes, you know you are beautiful, and I know you hate the little people. I know you hate the plastic people. Ladies and gentlemen, making her. No, really, Vince? I can't believe that's true. They're targeting a specific audience. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Of course, Adonis is for the gay audience. Your Cajun godfather says hello. So, Christina, Tea Time Kate was nice. Um, yeah, Tea Time was nice, but yes, exactly that. The construction. Um, they make nice accessories. They actually did, which I really loved for that Palm Garden collection. If I remember, that was what it was called, the Palm Garden. Palm Springs, Palm Beach, Palm Garden. The Palm Garden collection. They had the little booklet. The booklet was great. The accessories were great. Um, he's growing exponentially with every release, but he's really got to be careful. So so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I think also, by the way, at this point, Meezy's still at the right price point. You can make a very fair argument that Integrity has now gone above the price point they should be at. Meezy is where they should be. Meezy is where they should be. Integrity's gone a little too high. Silkstone is out of control. When you say the rooting is sparse, you mean Meezy? The last Maisie I got, I was not upset about the rooting. I thought the rooting was decent. I didn't order the Brides of Dracula. I really hope, for presentation's sake, the Brides of Dracula are decently rooted. Um, but I mean, because that, especially the redhead, that's gonna kill it if the rooting is bad. But all right, Vince is out. Christina, you want to hang for a little bit more, or shall we call it a night? Why did they name them in reverse? Interesting that you say that. I don't think he did. I think that he named. Good night, Vince. Good night. No, I don't have to go. I can hang out for a little bit longer. Christina, interesting that you say that. The the Francis Ford Coppola movie, the Francis Ford Coppola's movie Bram Stoker's Dracula, that got the girls mixed up. That's when he reversed the names. I think this either Maisie did. I think Maisie is doing what Bram Stoker Dracula did. And I say that because I think one of them looks exactly like the costume from the movie. If you have you ever seen Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula? Okay. Yeah, so he reversed the names. So maybe I guess they did the same thing. Yeah. I saw that gown, I'm like, "Oh, that's the Bram Stoker gown. That's the Coppola gown." So that's, I mean, like I said, if the redhead is not rooted well, that's going to kill the redhead doll. Well, first of all, he's finally going to have to commit to making a decent stand. Um, first of his stands are still not great, so he's going to have to commit to making better stands. Um, and then he's going to have to work on the joints at the wrists and the feet. If they're the bodies have to be balanced better. That's what has to come next. The bodies have to balance better. Once he can figure that out, once he can make the hands and feet more stable, um, maybe add a couple of ounces of weight to the body. I'm not sure how you would do that plastic wise, but I think the bodies themselves could have a little more weight to them to balance better on a stand. But once he can figure out how to like fine tune the body a little bit more, I think that's it. Once he can do that, then he can start to take some chances on the fashions. But he really should not be doing a lot with the fashion if the body is not going to support the clothes. Let me remind myself what that looks like because I don't remember what that looks like. So let me go Google Images and see if I can find it. What Christina? What outfit is she wearing? Are you talking about the one that came with the suitcase? Are you talking about the one that comes with the suitcase? Do you mean Ready to Go Measy? Is that the one you mean? The one that came with the suitcase? Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's another. Yeah, you're exactly right. That is another Poppy. Right down to the fact that there was a suitcase. I mean, I figured at some point they would get around to doing luggage, especially since a lot of the art, Rudy Terrell's has that line that is basically made for Measy, and he's done luggage before. I mean, I'm sure at some point I knew, but yeah, even if you look at her face, that's a completely different sculpt. That's a completely different sculpt from from the usual from the usual Measy. It's much closer to Poppy. I'm curious to see. I'm very curious to see if that's the final paint. I don't. I'm willing to. I joined the club because I like the outfit, and I'm curious to see what the club will do. But I'm curious to see if Measy is going to force Integrity to be a little more careful. Um, I'm curious. I mean, I hope Measy and Integrity can kind of inspire each other to be a bit more attentive to the quality control, because it's a very slippery slope. Once you start cutting corners with the quality control, that's where things go south. It's very thank you, by the way, Christina, for being here. It's some I've done live streams and nobody's come, and it's very disconcerting. So it's been nice. It's been nice to have somebody here. Oh my god, the first hands. Actually, no. The first set of hands I got were not terrible. I was so pissed off the lingerie was falling off the doll. That was what was when I first got the Measies. I was losing my mind that the lingerie was literally falling off the doll. The stockings didn't stay up. The bustier was falling off of her. I was losing my mind. I'm like, how do you dress a doll and not realize the clothes don't fit? What were you thinking? I mean, that was driving me nuts. The hands the hands were not a big issue. I get nervous with the feet because I get nervous with the feet only because if you can't cover up if you screw up the feet. There aren't enough full length outfits. I kind of get the feeling. I have no way to prove this. I kind of get the feeling that Jason gets stuff from like the factory second hands, like stuff that's rejected. Like those first runs of lingerie were so close to what Fashion Royalty used to do that I kind of thought like, well, okay, he took all the rejects from Fashion Royalty and put them on his doll. And then you had and it wouldn't surprise me if he takes the hands and the feet from LOL just because it's cheaper for him that way. But that's just my guess. I have no way to know if it's true. So I do hate to do this, Christina, but I do kind of have to go because I need to pack some stuff up for a post office run. New York is about to get slammed with the bad weather that people in Texas had. So tomorrow is basically our last day to do anything before we get the snowpocalypse. Yeah, you're right. Better, but yeah, it has to be a heavier doll. If it's a heavier doll, the hands and feet will be heavier too. So I think that will solve all the problems. You're right. It has to be a heavier doll. I agree with you. I will do my best to be careful. You will do the same. And to anybody else who happened to like come in here just to hear us talk, who might be watching this later on a replay, good night, everybody. And I will see you in my next review. God knows when that will be because I've been very busy with work, but I will try to get into some kind of schedule again where I can do reviews. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.